Every crazy Marvel theory that could actually be real. Explained. What if I told you that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been hiding secrets in plain sight for over 15 years? Buckle up, because we're about to dive into every insane Marvel theory that might actually be true. And trust me, we are absolutely going to blow your mind the more we keep going. Let's get into it. Theory number 1, the multiverse was broken before Loki. First up, everyone thinks Loki and Sylvie breaking the sacred timeline created the multiverse. But what if it already existed? Here's the evidence. In Spider-Man Far From Home, Mysterio mentions the multiverse before the events of Loki even happened.
I'm sorry, you're saying there's a multiverse?
Doctor Strange mentions the multiverse in his first movie back in 2016. And here's the kicker.
Who are you in this vast multiverse?
The Ancient One literally sends Bruce Banner's astral form out of his body in Endgame, proving alternate dimensions already existed. The theory? The TVA wasn't preventing the multiverse, they were just pruning timelines that led to Kang variants. The multiverse has always been there. He who remains was just controlling which versions of reality could interact. This means everything we thought we knew about the sacred timeline was a lie. Mind-blowing, right? Theory number 2. Captain America created an alternate timeline. When Cap went back in time to be with Peggy, the Russo brothers confirmed he lived in an alternate timeline. But here's where it gets crazy. What if old Cap showing up on that bench means he found a way to jump between timelines without the quantum realm? Think about it. He shows up on the bench, not the platform. He's wearing a new suit. He has a perfectly constructed shield even though his was destroyed. The theory is that Cap spent decades learning how to navigate the multiverse, possibly with help from variants of Tony Stark or Hank Pym and other timelines. This could mean Steve Rogers is still out there, somewhere in the multiverse, and could return whenever Marvel needs him. The evidence is all there. Theory number 3, Mysterio was telling the truth. Okay, hear me out. We know Quentin Beck was lying about being from Earth 833. But what if the real Mysterio from the comics actually exists in the multiverse, and Beck somehow got his hands on that intel? In No Way Home, we see villains pulled from the Raimi and Webb universes. But here's what's weird. Mysterio's lies about the multiverse came true only months later. Some fans think Beck was actually hired by someone with real multiverse knowledge to test if Peter was ready for multiversal threats. Maybe someone like Kang was pulling the strings, or maybe a variant of Mysterio really did exist and Beck stole his story. Either way, his fake story became prophecy. Coincidence? I think not. Theory number 4, Thanos knew about the multiverse. This one's dark. What if Thanos knew about the multiverse and that's why he wanted to destroy half of all life? Think about it. He says he's trying to prevent overpopulation and resource depletion. But if infinite universes exist with infinite resources, his plan makes zero sense, unless he knew something we didn't. The theory goes that Thanos discovered the existence of Kang in the multiversal war. He realized that the more life exists across all universes, the more chaos and suffering would occur when those universes collided. His snap wasn't about resources, it was about reducing the total amount of consciousness across the multiverse to prevent incursions. In his twisted mind, killing half of all life everywhere was mercy compared to what Kang would eventually do. This reframes the entire Infinity Saga. Thanos might have actually been trying to save us from something worse. Theory number 5, Bruce Banner is still trapped in the Hulk. Remember when Smart Hulk appeared in Endgame and everyone thought Bruce had perfectly merged with the Hulk? What if he didn't? What if Bruce is actually trapped inside the Hulk's body and the Hulk is just pretending to be Bruce? Here's the evidence. In She-Hulk, Bruce acts completely different than he did in Infinity War. He's more aggressive, more physical, more impulsive. He literally fights his own cousin for fun. The real Bruce Banner would never do that. Some fans think that when Bruce tried to merge with Hulk, the Hulk took over completely and just learned to imitate Bruce's personality and intelligence. The real Bruce Banner might be screaming from inside, unable to take control. It explains why Smart Hulk seems off, and why he's so different from the Banner we knew. That's genuinely terrifying when you think about it. Theory number 6, Wanda created mutants in the MCU. We all know mutants are coming to the MCU, But how do you introduce the X gene into a universe where it never existed? Simple. Wanda Maximoff already did it. When Wanda held the entire town of Westview under her reality warping powers, she was literally rewriting the laws of physics and biology. But here's what everyone missed. Her power didn't just affect Westview. According to the theory, Wanda's breakdown created a subtle reality shift across the entire MCU. She didn't just create fake children. She rewrote human DNA to allow for the X gene to activate. This is why we're suddenly going to see mutants appearing out of nowhere in future projects. They were always there, but dormant. Wanda's chaos magic at the end of WandaVision activated them all at once. Ms. Marvel's bangle activating her mutation might be the first sign, and if this is true, it means Wanda is literally the mother of all mutants in the MCU. That's poetic justice. Theory number 7. The TVA is run by a future version of Tony Stark. Alright, this is the one that's going to break your brain. What if the Time Variance Authority isn't run by Kang variants at all? What if it's run by a future version of Tony Stark who became obsessed with preventing multiversal chaos after his death? Here's why this works. The TVA's technology looks exactly like advanced Stark tech. Miss Minutes has an AI personality just like Jarvis and Friday. The Minutemen use orange energy, the same color as Tony's repulsor beams. And remember, Tony cracked time travel. What if a variant of Tony decided that dying wasn't good enough? He needed to make sure no version of him ever died, so he created the TVA to control all timelines. This would explain why the Avengers time heist was supposed to happen, because Tony designed it to happen. He's been playing 4D chess across the multiverse. And with Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Dr. Doom, what if Doom is actually this Tony variant who went too far? I'm telling you, this theory connects everything. Theory number 8. Spider-Man is trapped in the Venom symbiote universe. At the end of No Way Home, everyone forgets Peter Parker. But what if something worse happened? There's a wild theory that when Doctor Strange cast that final spell, he didn't just erase Peter from people's memories, he actually swapped MCU Peter with a Peter from another universe. Evidence? The spell was unstable and pulling in people from multiple universes. In the Venom post-credits scene, a piece of the symbiote gets left behind in the MCU. What if that's because our Peter was pulled out at the same time? The Peter we see at the end, alone in his apartment, might actually be a variant who's similar but not quite the same. It would explain why he seems so different, so isolated, so willing to abandon his old life completely. The real Peter Parker might be stuck in the Sony universe, and we're watching a variant. Tom Holland could literally be playing a different Peter now, and we wouldn't even know it. Theory number 9. The Infinity Stones are still active. Everyone thinks the Infinity Stones were destroyed, but Eternals proved that's impossible. The stones were created at the Big Bang from concentrated cosmic energy. You can't just destroy fundamental aspects of the universe. The theory is that when Thanos reduced the stones to atoms, he actually spread their power across the entire universe. This means everyone and everything now contains microscopic amounts of Infinity Stone energy. This could explain random power jumps, why new heroes are appearing with reality warping abilities, and why the multiverse is destabilizing. Wanda's chaos magic? Amplified by scattered reality stone atoms. Ms. Marvel's powers? Time stone energy. Spider-Man's Peter Tingle getting stronger? Spider sense enhanced by atomized soul stone particles. The stones aren't gone. They're everywhere now, in everything, making the universe exponentially more dangerous and powerful. And if someone figures out how to reconstitute them, game over. Theory number 10. Secret Invasion already happened years ago. The Secret Invasion show revealed that Skrulls have been on Earth for decades. But what if the invasion actually succeeded years ago and we just didn't know? What if some of the heroes we've been watching aren't who we think they are? Think about characters who've acted out of character or disappeared for long periods. Rhodey acting strange? Could be a Skrull since Civil War. Nick Fury leaving Earth? Maybe the real Fury was replaced before that. The theory suggests that the invasion we saw in the show was actually just Skrull Civil War, two factions fighting over an Earth they already control. This would explain plot holes, character inconsistencies, and weird decisions throughout the MCU. What if the reason Marvel movies feel different now is because we're literally watching Skrull infiltrators pretending to be our heroes. It's dark, it's crazy, but the evidence is piling up. And with Armor Wars coming, we might finally get the reveal that Tony Stark's tech has been compromised from within. Theory number 11. Doctor Doom will unite the multiverse. Final theory, and it's the biggest one. With Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom, everyone thinks he's the villain of the next saga. But what if Doom is actually the hero? What if he's the only one smart enough to prevent multiversal collapse? In the comics, Doom has saved reality multiple times, even becoming a hero when the stakes were high enough. The theory is that this version of Doom is a Tony Stark variant who saw every possible future timeline and realized the only way to save everyone is to conquer the multiverse before Kang does. He's not evil, he's pragmatic. He knows heroes are too moral, too hesitant to do what's necessary, so he becomes the dictator the multiverse needs, not the hero it wants. This sets up the ultimate moral dilemma: support Doom's authoritarian rule and survive, or fight for freedom and risk multiversal annihilation. And here's the kicker. What if the MCU we've been watching since Endgame is already Doom's controlled timeline, and we just don't know it yet? What if he's been in control, steering events from the shadows, and Avengers Doomsday is when he finally reveals himself? This would make him the most complex villain Marvel has ever created. And there you have it, 11 absolutely insane Marvel theories that might actually be real. Which one do you think is most likely? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe for more Marvel content, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay crazy, theorists!